Let me ask you something. Have you ever stood in front of someone, knowing exactly what you wanted to say, but your mouth refused to cooperate? Your heart started racing, your thoughts became noise, your confidence disappeared. And later, you replayed the conversation in your head and thought, why couldn't I say this properly? Why do others speak so easily? What is wrong with me? If this sounds familiar, this speech is for you. Because today, we are not talking about English, grammar, or fancy words. Today, we are talking about how to speak to anyone with confidence, clarity, and calm power. The biggest myth about speaking. Most people believe good speakers are born, not made. That is a lie. The truth is far simpler and far more hopeful. Speaking is not a talent. Speaking is a skill, and every skill can be learned. The problem is not that you can't speak. The problem is that you're afraid while speaking. Why do we fear talking to people? We fear people because we fear judgment, we fear rejection, we fear looking stupid, we fear silence, we fear being ignored. But let me tell you something important. People are not judging you as much as you think. Most people are too busy worrying about themselves.
The real enemy is inside you. The biggest enemy of communication is not the listener. It is the voice inside your head saying, what if I say something wrong? What if they don't like me? What if I embarrass myself? That voice destroys confidence before words even begin. So before learning how to speak, you must learn how to think. Stop trying to impress. The moment you try to impress someone, you lose power. Why? Because now you are performing, not connecting. Strong speakers don't try to sound smart. They try to sound real. Confidence is not about perfection. Confidence is about comfort. Presence speaks before words. Before your mouth opens, your body already speaks. Your posture, your eye contact, your breathing. If your body looks nervous, your words won't matter. So let's fix that first. Pause. Stand straight, not stiff. Relax your shoulders. Slow your breath. When you breathe slowly, your mind follows.
People don't remember words. They remember feelings. Here's a powerful truth. People forget what you say, but they never forget how you made them feel. So when you speak to anyone, ask yourself, how do I want them to feel? Safe? Respected? Understood? Inspired? Speak from that intention. How to start any conversation. Most people overthink the beginning. They search for the perfect line. There is no perfect line. There is only presence plus simplicity. A calm hello said with confidence is more powerful than a clever sentence said with fear. The secret weapon, listening. Want to speak to anyone easily? Learn to listen, not to reply, but to understand. When you listen deeply, people feel important. And when people feel important, they open up. Suddenly, speaking becomes effortless. Conversations are not interviews. Stop asking questions like a machine. Instead of, what do you do? What are your hobbies? Try curiosity. That sounds interesting. How did you get into that? What made you choose that path? Curiosity creates flow.
Speak slower. Power lives in pause. Nervous people speak fast. Confident people speak slow. Pauses are not weakness. Pauses are control. When you pause, people listen. Words gain weight. You gain authority. Silence is not your enemy. Silence is your ally. Think in ideas, not sentences. Most people panic because they try to remember sentences. Don't. Think in ideas. Ideas flow naturally. Sentences don't. If your idea is clear, words will come. You don't need perfect English. Let me say this clearly. Perfect English does not equal confident speaking. Clarity beats fluency. Simplicity beats vocabulary. Speak simply. Speak honestly. People connect to meaning, not grammar. Confidence is built in small steps. Confidence is not built on big stages. It is built in small conversations, daily interactions, simple hello, one honest opinion. Speak a little every day.
How to speak with authority without being rude. Authority comes from certainty, not loudness, not aggression. Certainty. Say fewer words. Say them clearly. Say them calmly. Calm confidence is irresistible. What if you make a mistake? Good. Mistakes humanize you. People trust imperfect speakers more than robotic ones. Smile. Correct yourself. Continue. No drama. How to speak to strangers. Remember this. Strangers are just people who don't know you yet. They're not enemies. They're not judges. Approach with respect, not fear. How to speak to people you admire. Stop putting them on a pedestal. They are human. They have fears. They have doubts. They have bad days. Speak to them as equals, calmly, respectfully. Confidence grows when equality exists. Mindset shift that changes everything. Instead of thinking, what should I say? Think, what can I give? Attention, respect, energy, clarity. Giving removes fear. How to speak in public. Public speaking is just private speaking, louder. Speak to one person at a time, not to a crowd. Connection beats performance. Practice that actually works. Practice speaking out loud. Talk to yourself. Record your voice. Improve slowly. Awareness creates improvement. Final truth. You were not born silent. You learned silence, and anything learned can be unlearned. Your voice matters. Your thoughts matter. Your presence matters. Speak, not to impress. Speak to connect. Speak to be real. Because when you learn how to speak to anyone, you don't just change conversations, you change your life.
Let me tell you something most people never realize. The problem is not that you don't know what to say. The problem is that you don't trust yourself while speaking. And when you don't trust yourself, your voice becomes weak, your words become confused, and your confidence disappears. Why confidence collapses mid-conversation. Have you noticed this? You start speaking fine, but suddenly your mind goes blank. Why? Because your attention leaves the conversation and enters your head. You stop being present and start monitoring yourself. How am I sounding? Did I say it right? Are they judging me? The moment you start watching yourself speak, you lose flow. The rule of presence. Confident speakers are not smarter. They are present. They stay focused on the person, the moment, the message, not on themselves. So here's a powerful shift. Stop watching yourself. Start watching the listener. Eye contact that builds power. Eye contact is not staring. It's connection. Look into someone's eyes as if you were saying, I see you. I'm here. I'm listening. If eye contact feels uncomfortable, look at the space between their eyebrows. Confidence is learned, not instant. Your voice is a muscle. Weak voice does not mean weak personality. It means unused muscle. A confident voice comes from slow breathing, relaxed throat, steady pace. Speak from your chest, not your throat. Before speaking,
Take a calm breath. Your voice will follow your breath. Stop apologizing for existing. Notice how often people say, "Sorry, but," "Maybe I'm wrong," "I'm not sure, but." This kills authority instantly. You don't need permission to speak. Replace apology with calm certainty. Say, "This is what I think. This is my experience." That's enough. How to handle awkward silence. Silence scares weak speakers. Strong speakers respect silence. Silence means thinking, processing, depth. You don't need to fill every gap. Let silence breathe. Often the other person will speak more. How to speak when you feel inferior. This is important. If you feel inferior, your body will show it. So change the story in your head. Instead of thinking, "They are better than me," think, "They are different from me." Difference does not mean less. Equality creates confidence. Speak from experience, not opinion. Opinions invite arguments. Experiences invite respect. Instead of, "I think this is wrong," say, "In my experience." Experience cannot be attacked. It grounds your voice. How to speak emotionally without being weak. Emotion is power when controlled. Speak from the heart, but don't beg for approval. Calm emotion builds trust. Drama destroys credibility. Dealing with criticism while speaking. Criticism hurts because we take it personally. Instead, take it professionally. Pause, listen, respond slowly. You don't need to defend everything. Silence is sometimes the strongest reply. Remove the fear of being judged. Let me tell you a truth that will free you. No matter how well you speak, someone will judge you. So stop trying to please everyone. Speak honestly. The right people will listen. How to speak with clarity. Clarity comes from simplicity. One idea at a time, one message at a time. Don't rush to impress. Slow clarity beats fast confusion. Small daily practice. Talk more, but consciously. Speak clearly. Speak slower. Speak honestly. Daily practice rewires confidence. Now let's talk about mastery. Speaking to anyone is not about control. It's about connection with strength. Brain speaking is energy transfer. Every time you speak, you transfer energy. If your energy is anxious, people feel it. If your energy is calm, people trust you. So manage energy first. How to speak when you are nervous. Don't fight nervousness. Accept it. Say to yourself, "I'm excited." Excitement and fear feel similar. Reframing changes response. Power of certainty. You don't need to know everything. You only need to be certain about what you say. Speak less, mean more. How to speak to difficult people. Stay calm. Lower your voice. Slow your words. Anger loses power when it meets calmness. How to speak in important moments. In meetings, interviews, public speaking. Remember this. Speak to one person at a time. Crowds are just many individuals. Control your inner dialogue. Your inner voice decides your outer voice. Change, "I can't speak well," to "I'm improving every time I speak." Confidence follows belief. The most powerful speaking skill, authenticity. Be real. People trust real speakers. Final message. You were not meant to stay silent. Your voice carries value.
Every confident speaker you admire was once afraid to speak. They didn't wait for confidence. They spoke until confidence came. Speak with fear. Speak with doubt. Speak imperfectly, but speak. Because the moment you learn how to speak to anyone, you unlock opportunities, you build relationships, you change your destiny.